We are talking about Hillel's great teaching, Imlo Achshav Ematai, if not now, when? Ibn Ezra writes a beautiful little one-line poem. It's really profound. Ha'avar ayin v'hatid adayin v'hahoveh keheref ayin. Translated means as follows. I mean, it's poetic in all works in the Hebrew. The past is no more. Ha'avar ayin, the past is gone. V'ha'atid adayin, and the future is still to come. V'hahoveh, and the present, keheref ayin, passes in a flash, like the blink of an eye. And therefore he says you can only rely upon this moment now. Maimonides, by the way, takes this theme up as well in relation to anxiety, his great recipe to control anxiety. He says you can't do anything about the past, and the future is capable of changing. It may not work out the way in which you think it's going to work out. It may not be as awful as you think. There's always the possibility of things becoming better. So the only thing you have to worry about, therefore, is right now. And right now, to a certain extent, is under your control. So what are you getting anxious about, he says. And that fits in beautifully with Ibn Ezra. And then the Chofetz Chaim gives a very famous analogy to the way in which we lead our lives. He says, you remember those days when you used to go on holiday and you used to spend hours in a shop choosing the right postcard, for the person you want to send it to, the right kind of photograph, whether it's going to be a naughty one, or just a pretty postcard, etc. And then you write the postcard and you send it. And you remember how it used to work? Used to go, your friend or relative would receive the postcard about 3 weeks after you'd already returned from holiday. Yeah. But he says when you write these postcards, you start off, you're putting in the date, etc., and then a whole bunch of trivia, like the weather over here has been absolutely shocking. The food in this hotel is awful, etc. And only somewhere towards the end you start actually to write the things that you really wanted to say. But by then you've already run out of space. So your writing gets smaller and smaller. You're trying to cram in more and more. And eventually you're writing in the margins, etc. And you suddenly realize that actually you've run out of space and you can't say the things that you wanted to say because you squandered too many big words, useless words, trivial words at the beginning of the postcard. He says, and that's what we do with our lives. So we spend our early years doing all kinds of things which are absolutely trivial to the real purpose of life, etc. Suddenly one day you wake up and you realize the postcard of your life, you're running out of space. You try to cram everything in, and you become more and more frantic, but you've left it too late because there isn't enough space on the postcard to be able to do all the things that you do. You might have your bucket list or your best intentions or whatever, but you've left it too late. You have to learn. And in life, you only get one postcard to write. And if you haven't started in the right way, you're not going to get a second chance. You have to simply live with the lines that you've got left. And therefore, he says, if not now, when? That's the greatest impetus to do what needs to be done now, because the space on the postcard for all of us is diminishing day by day. What a cheerful thought with which to start the day.